Hi, my name is Jacqueline Rivera from Go Gators, and today my team members, Ayana Lewis, Landon Nelson, and myself will be presenting our business presentation over our contract food services company. So a little introduction. Our team, Go Gators, has been working diligently on our contract food services company. With our high ethics and our competitive pricing, our main goal is to please our customers through our meals by delivering them to hospitals, long-term um, care facilities, and Meals on Wheels programs. Um, so to begin, I've gone over a little bit of an introduction. I will also be going over our vision, our mission, our values, and also the SWOT analysis. Landon will be discussing Porter's five forces, the competitor analysis, and also the functional strategies. And lastly, Ayana will be covering the four concepts from the textbook, our experience with playing GoVenture CEO business stimulation, and our mission as a company is to address the issue of unhealthy um, meals funded by patients. We provide affordable, flavorful, and nutritious options by incorporating meals that are not only locally sourced, but also gluten-free and organic. We cater to patients, individuals with cooking constraints, and also busy professionals. And by crafting meals that are based on our research and also customer feedback and personal experiences, we can ensure that a delightful dining experience akin to homemade quality meals. And as a company, we also value our customers' opinions. We believe that everyone deserves affordable, healthy, delicious meals during stressful times. Our values are the service of tasty, budget-friendly options that prioritize our company's vision on what we want to become is one that provides a company that provides affordable, delectable, and healthy meals for delivery to our clients and customers. Um, our focus also goes beyond just providing for hospitals, but also for long-term uh, care facilities and Meals on Wheels programs. Part of our vision is to offer these healthy meals to a diverse range of customers, including post-stress recovery patients and those who are unable. So for our SWOT analysis, two of our strengths are our investment in our ethics and our competitive pricing. Apart from the first month, for every month after that, we decided as a company to invest the maximum amount that was allowed into the ethics of our company. And by doing so, our company was capable of ensuring that its operations were in compliance with laws and regulations. And not to mention that high ethics also helps build a solid reputation for loyal customers and employees. And as I mentioned before, um, our our pricing was competitive, so we would be able to incorporate discounts or tactics that could offer lower prices to our customers, lower prices than our competitors. With our competitive pricing, we could set prices above, below, or equal to those of our competitors. So those are two of our weakness is our tight margins. And due to this, we have to be cautious of where we chose to invest our money in. But to improve this, we could track efficiency and develop our sales strategy. And the opportunity that we have in our company is that the market share, 45% of the market is concerned primarily with the price, and the other 20% is concerned on the brand. With competitive prices, our company has a chance to run the house, having a strong hold on the majority of the market. And the threat to our company is the inventory maintenance. Lacking inventory is a threat because it can lead to relying so heavily on the market share that it will decrease the amount of profit we make by the lack of sufficient supply, which will also damage our brand in the long run. And that is all for me.
All right, now moving on to the Porter's five forces. So, first going over what the Porter's five forces are. So, they gauge five different areas. One is the threat to new entries, the bargaining price for the buyers, the bargaining price of the suppliers, whether there was new substitutes, and the competitive rivalry. So, starting with the threat of new entries, we gauge that to be quite high uh, because of the start of the competition, everybody being in the same place, and the costs to get into different markets being quite low compared to the amount of capital that we all have. It was relatively easy to enter into different markets, especially early on. Now, to enter into different markets and be competitive became harder as time went on. But early on, it was definitely something easy to do, and it made it quite competitive. As far as the bargaining power of the buyers and the bargaining power of the suppliers, they did shift throughout the project. So, as far as the bargaining power of the buyers goes, it began high, but as the project went on, it began to significantly lower. Due to the fact that, especially our group, but everyone was missing inventory marks, it put buyers in a situation where they didn't have a lot of options. So a lot of them had to go to more expensive options as the project went on. Um, but in the very beginning of the project, I would say that they had quite a lot of power. And the exact opposite for bargaining power. The suppliers, it began low because we were all in the same place, so we had to be competitive. But as time went on and the inventory numbers were so low, we began to realize towards the very end of the presentation that, or towards the very end of the project, that there was a major supply issue, not just with us, but with all groups that left an opening for someone to outprice others. Um, there was a present threat of new substitutes as far as locally sourced, organic, and gluten free. The competitive rivalry was high. We didn't have any large businesses competing against small businesses or anything like that. As the project started, we were all in the same place. So, um, especially in the beginning, our numbers were all around the same, and we all had about the same amount to use for loans and everything like that. So that made us all very competitive to one another. As far as the competitive analysis goes, our competitors are listed on the PowerPoint. As far as our competitors' strengths and weaknesses, because of our strategy being taking over the market share by having very competitive prices with a 45%, based on the market report, 45% of the consumers cared about price and about 25 to 30% cared about the brand. we went completely in on that idea to try to take over the market through competitive pricing and to reach our profit goals through low margins but high revenue. So as a result, our as a result of that plan, our strengths and weaknesses are according to that plan. So our weaknesses is that we would be uh, the competitor strengths is that they had overall higher profit margins, and then their weaknesses is that they didn't have as competitive as prices. So it does appear that they could have been a second option to many different businesses, and overall they were lower on the ethics month to month. And lastly, for my part, is functional strategy. The core tenet surrounding our strategy was production, pricing, and ethics. Per the last slide, the market indicated that close to 50% of consumers were primarily concerned about price, while another significant amount of them was concerned about brand. Not a lot of people were concerned about whether it was locally sourced, organic, or gluten free compared to the other two. And in the end, uh, we believe that if we were competitive in our pricings and very ethical, it will pay off. However, with that being said, what we really did wrong is we had a very difficult time controlling the inventory. We probably should have taken out a lot of loans sooner, uh, but we wanted to make sure throughout the project our goal was that we had the lowest price for the majority of the months. And I'll move it on to Aon.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ayana Lewis, and I will be closing out today's presentation. Our next slide is going over 4 concepts from the textbook that we utilized for GoVenture CEO. The first one was 3 tests to a winning strategy found in chapter 1. The second one is sustainable competitive advantage, which is also found in chapter 1. Number 3 is being a low-cost leader, which was a concept found in chapter 5. And number 4 is business ethics, which we found information on in chapter 9 of the textbook. I would definitely want to highlight concepts 3 and 4 during this presentation because I believe those are the ones we use the most. Our strategy primarily focused on having the lowest cost compared to our competitors, so we can have more of a competitive edge and advantage. And as for number 4, business ethics, we found that during the simulation that ethics was very important for our team, and we continued and decided about maybe a quarter way into the simulation to keep our ethics score high for the duration of the simulation. So we could minimize any potential lawsuits or other negative impacts that would come from having a low ethics score. And we just wanted to have high morale with our workers, so they would just enjoy the work that they're doing. Next is our GoVenture experience. We found that the resources that the simulation provided, including balance sheet, profit and loss, all those reports were very helpful. The next thing was our budget was used on production, sales, marketing, research and development, human resources, and operating costs. But most of our budget did go to production. A good, like maybe 80% of our budget went there. By playing GoVenture CEO, similar to the real world of business, we discovered the rules of how ethics, time management, and collaboration were very important in business strategy. And when choosing a strategy and making business decisions, there are a lot of benefits and challenges that come along with it. And finally, our conclusion. Our company made a total profit of $205,034 with a revenue of over 1.2 million. We believe that with the right amount of production and units sold, the future of our company is in a great position. And the key to our long-term success is competitiveness. Thank you so much for watching our presentation. And we hope you found it interesting and learned a lot about our strategy and our experience with GoVenture CEO. Thank you.